to episode 30 of the CopTalk podcast. First, welcome back, Mark. How you doing?
Hello.
Yeah, no kidding, huh? So, and I guess we got Ed.
That's right, from the Iron Warriors.
Yeah, and I guess Jim is not going to show up again.
He's got his Craigslist date with a tranny.
You think? That's probably true, which is really scary. So, we got a bunch of stuff. We got a few questions. I think we're going to, a few things, I guess, a few announcements. The first one would be is that we're probably going to start doing the shows every other week, at least for the midterm here. I think it'll allow us to get a show that's a little bit longer for everybody, about an hour, and it'll also free up some time for us guys in the field so that we can actually get some other things done.
That is until we get overwhelmed with listeners' questions that we need to answer, because right now we're sort of like, what's that show on TV, Dirty Jobs with Mike Rowe?
Yeah.
And he's always asking people for ideas for a show so they don't go off the air. So we're asking for that too. Send in your questions, send in your comments, something that you've always wanted to ask a cop, but didn't get a chance to. Send it in and ask us.
Just like Dirty Jobs, we don't want the show to get terrible.
Yes.
At the end when you run out of stuff.
Exactly.
So I guess we can start off. We'll do that. Hopefully Jim will come back for the next show. We missed a show last week, so we'll make up for it this week. And I guess from there we can roll right into news if you got any, Mark. And then
let's bust on Jim as much as we can tonight too. So we'll come back and defend himself.
I'm pretty sure that's the way it goes when he's not here. So.
Hey, one thing that was happening in Oakland I saw on the news today is a trend that suspects are going to grocery store parking lots and they're watching women come out of the store. They're following them to their houses and then they're robbing them as they get out of the car or approach their house. And there's not a whole lot you could do in a situation like that other than being aware. I mean, we've covered this time and time again. Be aware of your surroundings. If you come out of the grocery store, look around, see if there's anybody near you or approaching you. If you get in your car and start driving, see if somebody starts following you. If it seems like the same car is behind you after, several turns, it could be a coincidence, but make a couple of turns and see if they keep following you. If they do, don't go home. Go to a busy gas station, go to a police station if it's nearby, and
drive right to the jail.
Yeah, but a lot of people, they may get a little scared if they're being followed and they think the safest place is home, and that's actually not the best place to go. Then people know where you live. And in a situation like this in Oakland, they've had several instances where people are robbed because the suspects are following them home.
What's the criteria? Is it old folks or something, or feeble, or what are they picking after? Folks
I didn't look at the statistics of the victims, but they said they had several instances of it where they're followed home, mainly women. They're followed home and then they're robbed at gunpoint. I was telling Brent just today in my city, there was a lady at a gas pump, and she's pumping her gas, and she's so involved with her cell phone, texting or whatever she's doing, she didn't see these two guys approach her, pull out a gun, grab her purse, and take off running. And if it was very simple, if she was alert and looking around, and if she simply made eye contact with these two guys as they're approaching her, that could have been enough to deter them to go on to somebody else, or she would have had time to scream or something. It just, you really got to be aware of your surroundings. I think, Brent, don't you see that if you're driving down the road, you see people crossing the street, they're just so intent, bent down, texting or looking at their phone, they're not looking around whatsoever.
I see people do that while they're driving.
Yeah, that is true.
I mean, driving down the freeway, they'll be there texting with a newspaper in front of them, makeup, shaving, whatever.
Scary stuff, scary.
It's amazing, and
yeah.
I mean, and the best part is I think about a month ago, I almost had somebody try to run me off the road because they were too busy on their phone, didn't even see me.
Well, you guys have the law in California where you got to wear a headset when you talk on the phone, right?
Yep.
But they still haven't outlawed texting yet.
Pretty sure you should be able to. Some of these people.
No, it's illegal.
Oh, texting is.
Yeah.
Yeah, and any use of the phone, actually, right?
Yeah. The only you could pick up a handheld phone and dial with it if you have a headset. Otherwise, some people think if they pick it up and they dial and then they set it down on speakerphone, it's legal. It's not. The only way it's legal is if you have a headset on. This is in California. If you have a headset, or one of the Bluetooth things that clip on your ear, you could dial your phone and set it down and then talk on your headset. But yeah, texting is illegal.
So
In fact, that's probably what Jim's probably on the phone right now trying to get directions to his Craigslist date.
Well, if he'd buy one of those fancy phones like you did, he could use a GPS on it.
Yeah.
Oh man, and then we could track them. That would be bad. So let's talk about this for a sec. So I've had a few questions about these cell phone laws and how law enforcement determines the difference between. So, well, let's clear up some of the rules. The first one is you could be making a 911 call, correct?
Yes.
That's legal?
That is legal.
Okay, so I'm driving down the street and there's a cop and I'm on the phone and you pull me over and I'm going to say what? Oh, I was calling 911. I mean, so how do you determine as a cop patrolling on the street if it's on speakerphone, if the person was just dialing, if they're not making a call to 911? I mean,
you could push them. You could say, all right, show me the phone, bring up the call history and let me see where you dialed 911. Or you bluff them and you say, you know what, I'm going to call our dispatch right now and see if a call came through from your phone number. If you're lying, you're going to get a ticket. And you'll get the truth out of them.
So basically, before I get pulled over, I'll just punch 911 in my phone, hit send end, and then I'm off the hook.
You might get out of it that way. Yeah.
That'd be awesome.
And then
you want to see it, cop? Here you go.
And then he'll arrest you for making a false 911 call.
I just misdialed it, Your Honor.
I meant to go 411, right?
Yeah, I don't know what. It's not the same? Oh, wait. I mean, most people call 911 and ask for information anyway, so what's the difference? Oh, I've heard
I needed a cop, and I saw you behind me, but I thought I'd call 911 for a different cop.
Yeah, well, I was sitting in dispatch, and somebody called in and asked for a pizza order.
Oh, it's amazing. We need to do a show like that or have a dispatcher on to give some stories about what people call 911 for.
Yeah, I should try to find one of my dispatchers if they'd even do it.
Yeah.
The list is so long, I couldn't even imagine it'd be a 3-hour show.
Yeah, funny. It'd be funny though.
It would be funny.
Better than America's Funniest Home Videos.
All right, so let's we can roll.
Ed's going to report. Ed may not be with us much longer anymore on the show though.
Why is that?
Because didn't you just tell me that you won a lotto in Nigeria or something?
Oh yeah. The gal there in the UK.
UK.
Yeah. Here, I'll tell you what she said to me. You want to hear the whole thing?
Yeah, let's hear it. We got to fill the show up.
She said, what is her name again? Oh, Mrs. Melissa Lewis. Oh, I'm Mrs. Melissa Lewis. I'm going for an operation later today. I decided to will the sum of $14 million to you. Quote, my personal reference number, LLP/953-931-6 US/UK, to my pastor only. Contact my pastor with this email. We're going to get your bank account number.com. Oh. So, I mean,
did you do it?
Email, yeah, I sent it in to her.
Okay.
I didn't.
You let me know how that goes.
No, you know what I have done is I've taken some of those.
Like I said, Ed, send her my bank info too, because I'd like to get a piece of that.
I have played the game sometimes with those guys in like Nigeria. Yes. Well, what would you like me to do to see if they'll send me the information back? But if you don't bite with all the info they want right out the bat, they don't respond back to you.
Yeah, I wouldn't.
There's a lot of scams out there, and they switch it up here and there, and but that's the oldest one in the book is the Nigeria lotto scam, or my father is the prince of whatever country and he doesn't know what to do with his $38 billion and blah 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 blah.
I've seen him show up in an email box from the FBI, and it's a bogus link altogether for it. Yep. And I've actually forwarded them on to the FBI, what do they call it, cyber crimes unit or whatever it is. But it looks kind of legitimate to a point, and then you go to click on you highlight the link, and it's not the FBI link at all.
So when you forwarded it on, did the guy reply with his bank account info and stuff?
I don't know if he did or didn't, but
No, I mean
what's
to
amazing is the people that fall for this, and then they call the police for help. It's still surprising me that people fall for this, but it's probably the elderly person that, they get this thing in their email, and anything on the internet, it must be true. But people,
well, it's just you're not educated in the issues that are associated with these internet things. It all sounds, I mean, heck, those things sound great. I mean, Ed, you could be, like master of your own country with one email.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, Ed will call us up next week. Hey, I want a country.
Yeah, I got my own island.
Yeah.
Off the coast of Somalia, huh?
Yeah.
But, we've talked about this before, but they send out these, they call it phishing, but they send them out from realistic websites, from PayPal, from Chase Bank, Bank of America, all these other financial institutions, and they use the same logos, they use the same little links and everything. But if you look closely at the main link you reply to, it's not one of the ones like from Bank of America or something, but they say we feel your account's been compromised. You're going to have limited access to your account until you verify your information. This is for your protection. Thanks for being a valued customer of Bank of America or whichever it is. And they use the logo. They use everything on it. It looks like a legitimate thing, and people freak out and they go, "Oh my God, compromised account." They go right in. They put in, these things ask for your account number, your PIN, maybe date of birth or social security number, and you think you're saving your account, and you're just gave away your identity.
Yeah, there's an easy way to solve a lot of this, which is go to each of your bank accounts or whatever accounts you have, and make sure that no way in there can they contact you by email. Most banks won't do it anyway.
Well, no financial institution is going to ask for your account number and your PIN, even in an email. Nobody's going to do that. And most Bank of America, PayPal, and eBay and everybody, they have what they call a spoof. You could forward this on to it'll say like spoof at eBay, PayPal.com or whatever. You send the entire email that you got to them. And
or abuse. Abuse at is another one.
Yeah, and they'll send you a reply saying, "Thank you. That is a,
We've been tracking Ed for months now. Thank you for evidence."
We had a big Craigslist scam through PayPal.
Oh man, you're telling me Jim's a part of that tonight?
No, not on the.
Oh.
No, not on the sex.
Oh, not for
part
hookers.
of it.
Okay, got it.
Somebody would be selling something on Craigslist. People would reply and say, "I'd really want this, cash this check for me and send money back to, one of those things where I'll send you more than what it is and you send back a certain amount of money, blah, blah, blah."
That's pretty common on Craigslist.
It is. But, so many people fell for it. I took a case where I had found 13 victims, and these victims didn't seem like they were very vulnerable, like, naive. But it was mainly targeting high-end stuff like cameras and camcorders and stuff.
Yep.
And these people were so anxious to sell their stuff that they were sending money back to where it didn't need to go. And when I ended up tracking all the stuff down, it came back to Nigeria and different countries. And I mean, there's no way any DA or anything out here is going to go chasing some property crime to another country.
And the issue is most of these countries, it's not even have to do with it being specifically Nigeria or China or Russia or any of these. It's just that it's impossible to go and try to get, any court case or any restitution from any of these people if it's out of country.
Right.
So, I think a lot of people, hear these things like Nigeria, and this is not like, it's like each of these people, it's not that country specifically. It's all these places that have no laws set up to prosecute, internet crimes, which is an issue.
Right. But, is the way they did it, and it was actually quite ingenious, is they'd find somebody like a diamond ring or an expensive camera. They'd say, "I really want it. I'll pay you extra to have it shipped to me, this and that." Yep. And they would send a spoof PayPal email notification, because if you get money from PayPal, if you sell something, they send you a notification you've got money. These people had perfected this email that you've got money, and check your account within a few days. It's automatically transferred. Blah blah blah. Send it overnight, and they were paying these people an extra $100 or telling them that to send it overnight. So these people said, "Oh, great!" They check their email. They get something from PayPal saying you've got money.
Mm-hmm.
They think it's been paid for. They ship it out overnight. The person gets the item, and all of a sudden the people realize they didn't get the money in the PayPal account.
Sadly, these are the same people that don't read their credit card statement every month and make sure that every charge on there is legitimate. So
right. If you get something in PayPal, if it says you got money, you could log into your PayPal account and it should be there. It's not going to say your money will be there in 4 days or a week or something like that. And so these people were just getting had left and right, and I busted somebody. He had a bunch of cameras and stuff that he had bought, and he was getting a piece of it and sending the rest of the money back to Nigeria. It's huge. I mean, the scams are huge, so you really got to watch yourself.
They wouldn't be continuing either if they weren't profitable. So they are highly profitable into the millions and millions of dollars, and it's...
Well, it goes back into the old adage, if it seems too good to be true...
Oh, I thought you were going to say, too bad I didn't think it up.
Yeah, well, that too.
Yeah, okay.
Ed's taking notes here because he's going to go try something here.
Yeah, Ed's probably, or he fell asleep.
No, I just was reading a note here about the police mimicking lights, and I got it on my cell phone. I was going to play with it and let you and pull you guys over.
Oh, you downloaded it?
Oh, absolutely. I had one on there that I turned the siren on, and it wouldn't turn off. I had to delete the whole thing from the phone.
See, once a cop, always a cop.
I can't get away
Ed's
from
got
this
a
stuff.
scanner in his car. When he hears a call come out nearby, he puts his cell phone up in the window with the flashing lights and the siren.
Hey, with your new phone, you can go to applications and put this police scanner there and listen to yourself on the radio, Mark.
Well, what?
Yeah, you can put a scanner inside your phone. I got a scanner in mine. I listen to you guys all the time.
Yeah, don't do it now. It'll ruin the show.
There you go. Hold on.
Well,
it's not a video podcast.
Whoa, did you hear that siren? Woo! Man, flashing red and blue lights.
That leads us right into the next story.
So,
let me find the fire truck now. Jesus, the lights turn off. Hold on. Fire department. See, the fire department's just red and white. That's no fun. I want something like really cool stuff. Construction's yellow.
Hey, Ed, for your birthday, I'll get you a Fisher-Price police car with a real siren.
I was thinking one of those cool helmets that had the light on it.
I'd be like, do you see my little green fishy?
With the PA mic.
Hey, well, anyway, that next story that Ed kind of inadvertently led us into was there is an app for a phone. And what was the story that you had, Brent? Some guy...
so basically it was in Indiana. He decided to download the application, took it out. Let's see, what has he got here? It says, she told police a black Pontiac GTO with flashing red and blue lights at the top of its windshield tailgated her and seemed to try to pull her over about 10:40 p.m. She suspected the driver wasn't really a police officer, so she just kept driving and called 911. When the police caught up with the car, they found no flashing lights, but a passenger handed over a cell phone belonging to the driver. Oh, that's friendship right there. Mr. Fabio Bindel.
He's got weed.
Mr. Fabio Bindel, 30 of Valparaiso, said that he had just downloaded the application to imitate police car lights. So he was immediately arrested for impersonating an officer and drunk driving.
See, I went to that website, and it's amazing that they could actually legally sell that app or whatever.
Why not? It was free.
Well,
mine was free.
Why does oh, Ed, you got yours for free, Ed?
Yeah.
Yeah, but I mean,
I had to send $200 to Nigeria for mine.
I guess we could rename the app Idiot Test. And
there you go.
99 cents a piece. So I don't know what, I guess the issue.
Nobody has a reason to have that unless they're drunk at a party and saying, "Hey, look at me," or trying to.
I would assume Ed runs around his house
naked with my old gun belt on.
Ed hears one of his neighbor's alarms go off down the street, so he runs down the street holding his phone up over his head.
I'm coming.
Actually, I had a neighbor kid. I had a neighbor kid up the block
your
there.
grenade launcher, 50 millimeter cannon you have, right?
Yeah, I was gonna hit him with the grenade launcher.
And what did your neighbor do, I dare ask?
Oh, I'm sitting there and I'm getting my stuff ready for taxes. I look out my front window and this kid's walking by. He stops right dead smack in front of my house, looks inside my Toyota passenger front window, and then peeks into the back window. He's looking for stuff that he can bust the window and snatch. And before I can grab my gun and run outside, he's already waddling up the street. His pants are halfway down his behind, And then I saw the house he went into. I was like, okay, well, that explains it all. But I thought to myself, he comes by and does that again, and I'm sitting there. I'm going to turn on these lights and siren and come running out there after him.
Oh, man. And you'll be the crazy nutball in house number 4.
I can see the headlines. 14-year-old killed after 35 rounds pumped into his body for looking into an empty vehicle.
Yeah. No, it's going to be more like run down by police car.
Yeah, with the phony lights and siren on it.
Yeah.
Naked man running down the street with flashing lights.
Kids smacked by flying cell phone with lights blaring.
Yeah.
Ed almost opened up on a raccoon when he lived out my way.
Raccoons. Oh, yeah. Damn. Those are some
you
pretty
ran
cool
outside with your gun naked?
Well, no, we thought there was somebody running across the roof. The roof juggled the house, and they made a big snapping noise like somebody running across a roof. So, of course, the stupid goes out there and his britches half off and a gun in the hand and flashlight in the other. And there was raccoons sitting there staring at me in the tree like, what are you doing out here in your underwear?
Yeah, idiot.
Yeah, I think I would have gotten
cold out here. It's okay. I got raccoons living under my deck. They love it.
Do they?
Oh, yeah. I've never seen raccoons that big.
There was a half little town there, the house I had there in that town over there in East Bay.
Yeah, they bring their kids out at night.
Oh yeah, and they're bold.
Teach them how to hunt, and it's cool.
Bold.
I've got Wild Kingdom in my backyard.
Raccoons could be nasty little critters too.
Oh no, they came up to our gate up top and looked in the screen door, and I flashed a light in his face, and he looked at me, and I ran at him, and he looked at me, and I said, "Okay, you win."
Ed, what do they do when you hold up your flashing red and blue light to them?
I haven't tried it yet, but I'll get back to you as soon as I do.
Yeah.
They might run.
Report back. Report back in 2 weeks.
Yeah.
All right, so
ER.
So we hit on this wonderful idiot going to impersonate a cop. Let's talk about working radar at night. So we got a question from I don't know their name because they probably didn't want me to use it. So running radar at night. Is it legal for police to run radar on a 4-lane highway, 2 lanes north and 2 lanes south, after dark without having any lights on their car on at any kind whatsoever? I have seen the local city police and sheriff doing this in northern West Virginia. Well, who wants to answer that?
It could be a 100-lane highway at nighttime. It doesn't matter. Or like our judge out here, people say, can the police officer actually shoot radar here or there or whatever? And the judge tells them if they could get their police motorcycle up in a tree, they could do it from a tree. Yes, it is. It is legal.
That's a great answer.
Oh, the judge tells people that. It is great.
I'm sure the motor officers at the old PD there with the funny colored hair would probably do that too.
Yeah. But yeah, most cops now, they don't use radars. Even Highway Patrol now, I see them on the side of the road using the lasers.
Yep.
And those things, you could pick a motorcycle out of a pack of semis. I mean,
that's my question for you, because I mean, how do you distinguish between 4 cars and 4 lanes?
On a radar, it'd be really hard to do because the radar, the cone spreads out. But with a laser, it's like inches at so many yards, 100 yards. Yeah, you could actually zero in on a motorcycle, in the middle of a pack of cars coming at you. You look through the scope. It looks just like a gun scope with a little tiny red light, LED light or whatever inside. And you put that red dot right in the center of the license plate. And the spread is so small that it won't pick up the other cars. It picks up just what you're pointing it at.
Really? That's cool.
Oh, it's so accurate. I mean, if you go to court to fight a radar ticket, you may have a chance saying, hey, there's interference from this or that. But if you go to court and fight a laser ticket, you're out of luck pretty much.
But there are ways to determine different cars with standard radar by Doppler tone and obviously.
Yeah, but if you work in a freeway with a lot of cars, it's not going to work very well because it's picking up the biggest car, the closest car. Whereas a laser, where there's a lot of cars around, you pinpoint what you want. You pointed at the license plate of what you want. You put that little red dot in the middle of the license plate, and you're good. Now, there are places where you could work radar, like a 2-lane road, cars are coming at you, not a lot of cars, they work fine. But, when you got a lot of cars, especially like this person's question, on a 4-lane highway, especially after dark, just the laser, they just put it right in the front of your car is coming at you. And it is totally legal.
No lights, no nothing, doesn't matter. Well, fully blacked out, don't have to give you a chance at all.
Well, no, I mean, we're talking California law. I really don't know the laws in different states, if they have rules. But I've heard people say, well, a cop can't shoot radar without at least our parking lights on, or they can't be parked here or there. In California, like the judge said, if they could get their patrol car or motorcycle up in a tree, it'd be perfectly legal. It doesn't matter.
I know.
Don't have to have lights on. Don't have to be, out in the view. They could hide anywhere they want.
Yeah, and I want to say, don't quote me, but I know it was back east somewhere. I don't know if it was Virginia or not, but there were some issues of being fully hidden and not being fully hidden, and having to have some part of the vehicle showing and that type of thing. But
yeah, California it doesn't matter, because when I was in motors, we'd hide all kinds of places, hide behind cars, front yards, driveways, and nighttime, daytime, it didn't matter. We shot the laser and it didn't matter. Best thing to do, if you got questions in your state, look it up or check and see. But I think it's going to be the same for most of them.
Well, let's hit on one little subtopic of that is how do you normally determine somebody is speeding? What are your, do you have like 2 or 3 different ways to do that? If you don't have radar, if you do, those are things that, are you pacing people? What are the different ways of being able to determine? Because a lot of people ask the question of, well, if they don't have me on radar, how do they know I'm speeding? And I think that's a legitimate question.
One way would be speedometer in a car. If a cop's behind you and he's pacing you, he could pull you over based on his speedometer, and he's pacing you where you're not pulling ahead and he's not gaining on you, so he's getting a pretty accurate estimate of your speed. If you do get a ticket based on that, one thing you could do is go to court and ask when the speedometer was last calibrated on that vehicle. You could stand a chance of having it taken under submission or dismissed if the officer is unable to tell you the last time it was calibrated. Normally at least when I wrote tickets based on the speedometer, I'd get it calibrated or checked with one of our motor units with a laser, and he would check my speedometer. And if I went to court, I'd say, I paced him at 50 miles an hour in a 30 mile an hour zone for approximately a quarter mile. Speedometer was checked a month ago and it was 1 mile an hour over. I wrote the ticket based on that. You'd win every time.
Well, and for those who haven't been in the front seat of a police car, if you look at the speedo in the car, it actually says factory calibrated,
right,
which is something that they actually do in most police issue style vehicles. So just another thing.
Most of them that work writing tickets off the speedometer, they also get it checked once a month or so by a laser or a radar just to confirm that it's still accurate.
Right.
Second thing is when I went to radar school and then laser school, you have to be able to estimate a car's speed by looking at it coming and going, and you have to pass a test and you have to get a certain percentage right, otherwise you don't get the certification to work the laser. And they teach you how to do that, and you practice and you get to the point where when a car is coming at you, you could estimate their speed within a couple of miles an hour one way or the other. And that's actually part of the final test before you get certified to be able to shoot radar or laser.
So if an officer's in traffic court and says, Your Honor, I visually estimated this vehicle to be traveling in excess of 10 miles per hour over the speed limit, he has expertise in that.
They have to. When they go to court here in California, they have to state their qualifications, and they briefly touch on the school they went to, and they had to visually estimate vehicle speed, blah, 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 blah. And once they do that, and the judge says, okay, basically you're qualified to use radar or laser, then he goes into that. I was parked at whatever place. I saw a vehicle approaching. I visually estimated the speed to be approximately, 40 miles an hour. I put the laser on the front of the car. I tracked it for approximately 3 to 5 seconds. I confirmed the speed at whatever mile an hour. So there's a whole routine they have to go through in court also in order for this ticket to go through. Also, there has to be, you'd have to look in the vehicle code, but on most streets, there has to be a engineering study done, a survey, in order for the police officers to be able to shoot radar or laser on that street. And there's certain requirements that has to be met. And if there's not a survey on file for that street, and there's one required, the ticket will be dismissed.
Interesting.
Yeah, it's got to be the road has to be at least a certain width. It's got to be at least one lane in each direction, and there's something else involved with it. Otherwise, it's considered a speed trap. And if it's considered a speed trap, the tickets will be thrown out. Now, cops can shoot they could follow somebody and use their speedometer and write a ticket on that. But if there's a street that does not have a survey on file and a radar or a laser ticket is written on that street, it'll be thrown out in court.
Oh, really?
Yeah, it's pretty interesting. You have to look it up. Look up speed surveys or a definition of a speed trap in Google or something. It'll explain it all.
Well, now where can you find that again in the city archives? Will they have to give that information to you, or
with the city? Yeah, you can go to the city and you could say, I'd like to see. In fact, an officer here in our court, the officer has to present a copy of the speed survey for the ticket that They
don't any longer update them with the court itself and keep them on file.
Yeah, there is. There's a book at each court that has them all in there. So if you get a ticket, you could go there and you could ask for the speed survey book. You could look and see if the street that you got a ticket on, if it's in there, and if it's expired or if it's not current, because they're only good for so many years. If it's past that amount of time, you could tell the judge there's not a current speed survey on file. The judge will look and say, you're right, ticket dismissed. So something to check out.
Oh, it is interesting. Okay.
All right, so, man, I just found a great new source for questions. We'll have 100 million shows now. Brand new website that was just opened up for questions. It's basically a question and answer website. And there is a whole section on law enforcement. So we're going to be, we'll have plenty of stuff to talk about now.
Good.
All right,
maybe get Jim to join us.
Yeah, no, it's actually really interesting.
Somebody call Jim's phone and see what he's doing.
Yeah, I gave up.
Second thought, don't.
I don't like him anymore, so I'm not calling him. So let's get through a couple of these other questions, and then we can hit on maybe one or two of these other ones from this site. They're actually pretty good. So just real quick, we did have one person write in asking about, I believe they're trying to become an officer now, and they're really worried about the dreaded wall, or, as we like to call it, the physical agility test. And they were asking for a couple pointers, if any. I mean, the last time I had to hop over a wall was a long time ago, so that makes you guys longer. So I guess the question comes down to is what's the best way to get over that thing?
You go first, Mark, on all, because I had a hell of a time getting over it myself.
I know, Ed cheated. He ran around the wall.
I ran through wall.
Yeah, I did actually. And later on in my career, and I put on some extra weight, I just run right through a fence. But that's a whole other story.
Actually, the way Ed made it over, we told him there was a case of beer on the other side, and he got the best time of the day.
He chewed through the wall?
Yeah.
Even 75 pounds ago, it was tough for me getting over those walls. But let Mark go first.
No, there's really no good or bad with it. I mean,
run, jump, hope. I mean, what do you do?
The only way I found to get over it without too much effort or struggle was just run at it, and I would throw my weak leg, if you will, against the wall, and then grab onto the top of the fence and use my weak leg to kind of try and propel me over the top, and I just roll over the top, and whether I fell straight to the ground or not, accomplishing my goal again. That was basically it,
I've made it. I think I broke my face.
And then I would get up with my broken hip and hobble to the next 3-foot fence,
Yeah,
Stop,
well, most of the tests, they've got the get a running jump, or you'll have a zigzag course. You got to, make sharp lefts and rights. Sometimes there's a small cyclone fence you could easily scale over, and then you got the wall. After the wall, then you got a short sprint to the finish line. But yeah, 6-foot wall. I've seen it done in different ways. I think what worked the best for me is to run up to it and do like a big hop with both legs and jump up as high as you can and grab the top of it and just pull yourself over. Once you grab the top, you could, use one leg and hook it over the top and then just pull yourself over. I've gone over also when we used to have training by, like Ed said, right before you get to the wall, you raise one leg up and you plant one foot up against the wall and kind of propel yourself up. If you don't propel high enough, you're on the ground, but if you do, you make it over.
Right.
But the best thing they could do is just practice, just try different techniques. What
helps
you do
too
is if you got a friend with a Rottweiler, is just have them send the Rottweiler after you when you're running toward the wall, and you'll find the best way to get over that wall.
Well, some towns also, and particularly the one we worked in, had a community college with that open to the public. So you could actually go there and do it all day long if you had to.
Well, most of the places that have training facilities for police officers, that is out in the open. It's usually not locked up somewhere. And if you find where they have the teach the police academies, a lot of times that'll be out in the open, and you could go practice on the wall.
Yeah, that's actually your best way. Go right to the source and just keep doing it until you get better at it.
Yeah, no, it's
sooner or later you'll get over.
Yeah, or you'll be so bruised you never want to become a cop.
Right. And the irony of it is, I can only tell you maybe 3 6-foot fences I had to scale the whole entire amount of years I was in the business. But
hey man, I learned calculus.
What's that?
Jim's on the phone. Let's put him on speakerphone.
Where is he?
Hang on. All right, Jim, you're on the show. We're live.
Jim? Yeah, we can't hear him.
Yes, we're on the show, Jim. What?
Can't hear him.
Thanks for calling me earlier.
Oh yeah, let's have this argument.
You mean like the four phone calls and the 6 text messages? Yeah, well, we got about 10 minutes left if you want to log on.
She's called me 15 times since 3 o'clock.
Hey, we're on the air. You want to call in for the last 15 minutes?
So, Ed, how's it going?
Good. Anyway, later in my career, when I realized I couldn't get over the fences like I used to,
we're live.
I actually chasing some bank robbers from Concord. I made it over the first fence, but I smashed my jewels on top of the fence. So I decided that's it. I'm going to kick myself through the rest of the fences, even though that would tell them where I was coming from. I'd probably get shot. And so I got through chasing these guys, and they left money scattered all over the yards. I went back and told the sergeant, "Hey, Sarge, I'm really sorry, but my pants were ripped from my crotch all the way down to my knee." And I said, "Hey, I had to kick the fences down like 5 yards." He goes, "Oh my God, I don't want to hear this. Just get out of here, please." So you walk in the backyard, and every fence that I faced had like 3 or 4 slats kicked out of it.
That's terrible.
But they were long gone. They had to drop on me anyway. They could have killed me if they wanted to.
Yeah, no kidding.
That was one of the best bank chases we had.
You there?
Yeah, who?
Hey, sorry about that. I was trying to get Jim on the air, but it didn't work. Jim says, "Hey, can you call Jim? Because Jim said he'll join us. If you could call him somehow on his phone."
How am I? He's supposed to show online. He's not online then. So yeah. I'll look for him. I'm not going to tie the show up. Wait.
Too bad. So sad.
Yep. So we only have a couple more questions anyway. And then we have enough for the next 12 months on this other site. So this came in as another question, which was in a place after dark or after curfew. Myself and 3 of my friends were sitting on a boat dock. Oh, and Jim's not here. When a police officer,
that one for him.
No way. When a police officer pulled up and asked us what we were doing, and we were just sitting there, they searched us, found nothing, but he said that he was not sure if he was going to cite us for something, and then he drove away. Can he still be fined? Was he doing something wrong being there? What's the story?
Well, that leaves a lot to the imagination.
So use some of that imagination and let's hear it.
Well, let me put it in. If I'm on patrol, it's dark, there's a place that's closed, and I see people out there right off the bat there, that's reason for contact. What are they doing out there? They getting ready to berg something? In the lease, they're trespassing because it's closed after dark. What are they doing out there? So a cop wouldn't be doing his job if he didn't go out there and contact them. Technically, it all depends, the searching part of it. You can't just grab somebody and start searching them. Even though they might have been committing trespassing, usually it's a consensual search. Hey, you got anything illegal on you? Any drugs, guns, bombs? No, I ain't got nothing on me. Mind if I check? No, go ahead. I mean,
but that's consensual.
Yeah, exactly. That's probably how 9 out of 10 searches, the questions go. People actually give the cop consent.
Right.
So they were probably searched, nothing was found, and the cop probably said, look, man, I don't know if I'm going to cite you or not, but if you get out of here in 5 minutes, if I come back in 5 minutes and you're here, I'm going to cite you.
Right.
It was probably a situation like that. But the bottom, right in the beginning, it says, in a place that is closed after dark. I mean, there's your answer right there. They're not supposed to be there, and that's why the cop came up. That's why the cop searched them. And he actually probably gave them a break by not citing them for trespassing.
Right. So, I mean...
And they said, then he drove away, can we still be fined? No. Right. If he didn't issue you a ticket right then and there and have you sign a promise to appear, there is nothing else is going to be done.
Now, does this matter if these kids are kids as in juvenile, or if these people are not, juveniles? Or, I mean, how does curfew work into that?
I mean, most cities have curfews of, like, say, 10 o'clock during the week or something, and curfew would just be even another reason for contact, even if the place was open. If a city has a curfew of 10 o'clock and a cop sees some kids out somewhere at 11 or 12, he has a right to contact them if there's a curfew in the city.
And that's a citable offense, at least in California, right?
It is. A lot of the times,
juvenile diversion or something, or what? Even half like juvenile diversion anymore.
On a Friday or Saturday night, usually it's so busy in the city, the cops don't have time to be looking at every kid that, sitting at an In-N-Out burger that looks young or something. But if for some reason they do come in contact with the kids and there's a curfew, most of the time the cop will call a parent, say, come down, get them now, or the cop will take the kid to the station and have one of the other officers there watch him till a parent picks him up, or a cop, might cite the kid. It all depends on how busy the city is, and there's some cities where they may write 1 million curfew tickets, and there's other cities that it's low on the priority list.
Well, I guess it all depends on what problems they're having at the time.
Right.
All right. So last question for today is going to be about possession. Or I guess maybe possession is, what's that saying that people say?
Possession is 9/10 of the law.
Yeah. So this guy, listen to this one. This is good. So I have somewhat of a strange question. I lent my brother my ATV and trailer. Well, time went on, I moved, really didn't have a place to put it, so I wasn't really worried to let him keep it. Well, now he's trying to sell them. A friend of mine found a flyer at a local hardware store, has my ATVs on it, and the trailer. He has all the titles and registration. What can he do? He says, I don't really want him to get arrested, but I guess I do want my stuff back, and if it's sold to a third party, he's never going to get it back. His brother has changed his phone number. Wow, this is some love.
You do what every brother does. Go over to his house, knock on the door, and tell him, hey, you open the door, we're going to do like we used to do when we were kids.
Yeah.
And we're going to square the situation away.
I'd like my ATVs back, please, before I knock your house over.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
So, legally, what can he do? And obviously, illegally, he can do whatever he wants. It's his family member. But that's hopefully won't be... he wants to know what he should do legally. And maybe I should do this with Jim, because I'm pretty sure he's got a bunch of my stuff.
Well, if he calls the police, most likely they'll tell him it's a civil matter.
Right.
You got to go to court.
Yeah.
Go to court, go see Judge Judy or whatever. But if he's got the title, he might be able to call the police and say, hey, look, my brother's got an ATV of mine. I have the title. It's in my name. Can you guys go, do a civil standby for me while I try to get the property back, where they may have an officer meet out there, and ask the guy, hey, look, do you have an ATV that belongs to him? He's got the paperwork. It shows that it's his. But there's all kinds of things that come into play. If the brother's had it for a long time and got duplicate titles in his name or something, it's going to end up being a civil matter where it goes to court.
And that's not hard to do.
Right. All he has to do is say there was a lost title or fill out some paperwork. But the first thing he could do is call the police department in his jurisdiction, explain the situation, see if they'll do a civil standby form where they send an officer out with the guy that has the paperwork and try to get the property back. If not, he's going to have to go to court.
Well, I mean, have you run into these things?
Occasionally, and we always tell people if it's a civil matter, file a small claim suit against the brother for either the property or the value of the property, and most of the time that'll solve it. If he's refusing to give it back and you have paperwork showing that it's yours, no cop's going to go in and hold the guy at gunpoint while you get your stuff back. It's going to be considered a civil matter because the brother didn't steal it. It's not like the brother stole it. That'd be a different issue. He left it at his brother's property or lent it to him, and he didn't get it back for a long time. So
yeah, these situations get really sticky. I have a
Hey, do you want to hear a true story is really sticky just like that? That's actually involves 2 Maricopa County detention officers.
Is this involving your ex-wife?
No.
Oh, okay.
A very relative of mine who works there had kept some of her stuff at another detention officer's house for like 4 months. He got tired of holding on to it, and she didn't have any money to rent a storage location, so he went ahead and forged a note with her name on it and said that she had sold the stuff to him for $1,000. Long criminal investigation goes through, and it's inconclusive because it can't figure out who forged the note. And then they go to civil court, and she wins. He gives his stuff back. Now he's suing her for the money that she got out of suing her for the amount of the cost, like $3,500. He wants $3,500 back. And it's unbelievable, absolutely unbelievable.
These things do get sticky, And like this guy's letter says, time went on, and I moved, and I really didn't have a place to put it, so I wasn't worried about it. Right. And now he wants them back. So
well, it's his family, man. I mean, it's like you loan your brother
the brother could say, you know what? I've stored it for him all these years. I want $50 a month storage fees from him for storing it for him before I give it back. I mean, anything could happen. So the best place to do it would be in court. If he's refusing to give it back to you, file a small claim suit against him or take him to court. That'd be the fastest and easiest way.
The civil case did work out for her. She got all of her stuff back, and he didn't appear to have done anything to it. Urinated on the couch, nothing like that.
That could end up real ugly.
Yeah, real stinky too. But on the other side of it, now the guy countersues her after she gets the stuff back. He wants the value of the furniture paid back to him because he alleges that note that she allegedly wrote was not a forgery. And it's like, geez, this guy won't quit. So now he's dragging her back into court all over again.
Wow.
That's the case that we're going to see on Judge Judy coming up.
That's bitter.
Yeah, it's really bad. It's terrible.
All right, so I guess there was one other thing in that. Mark, I don't know if you know any of the details on this at all, but this whole Contra Costa County lead drug enforcement guy that was ended up going to jail last week.
Yeah, that definitely made the headlines. It was surprising because he was a well-known commander of the narcotics unit out in the county out here.
I'm pretty sure I've worked with him.
Yeah, all of a sudden you see on the news that he was arrested for selling drugs, and all the details aren't out yet. I guess he's already out on bail, but I really don't want to touch this one with a 10-foot pole.
Right.
For too much, but he's got, it's not just like one count against him. They've got like 30 counts against him and a well-known PI that he was supposedly or allegedly teaming up with to sell drugs. So it's going to be interesting where this goes.
I guess we'll just
probably work with this guy too.
Yeah, I have. I got a picture of him on the screen here. I'm just reading he got out of jail already.
Yeah, he's out on bond.
Yeah, they reduced him down from $1 million to $400,000.
Oh, what a bargain!
It's pretty interesting, and hopefully this doesn't taint cops too bad, because normally, when a cop does something wrong, it makes headlines. But what people have to remember is there's millions of cops, hundreds of thousands of cops, and there's good and bad in every profession. Good and bad in doctors, lawyers, dentists, bank exec, you name it. There's good and bad in every profession, and there's going to be a couple of bad cops out there. And he didn't start off bad. He was really, from what I understood, was a good cop and the commander of this unit. But something happened where he went a little sideways and got accused of selling drugs.
In this article I'm reading right now, it's called sflist.com. It says that, and this is what I'm reading straight off the internet. I'm not poking fingers at nobody and all that. It says, according to Associated Press, Welsh's lawyer explained his client was in debt after his daughter needed a bone marrow transplant, which might actually explain Welsh's motive for racking up 28 felony counts of selling crank.
28. Oh.
Yeah, 28 felony counts.
I thought I read somewhere that it was the PI's daughter that needed a bone marrow transplant or something.
I don't know. I'll send you guys this article. It's maybe that could, there's always a motive for whatever.
Yeah, I don't know. We'll just have to stay tuned.
Whatever the motive, it doesn't justify it.
Right.
No, yeah, you're absolutely right. It's 100%. It's a tragedy because it gives everybody a black eye for as long as people's memories last.
Yeah.
So
bad decision and loss of an entire career. So.
Yeah, Lord knows we had a lot of those black eyes where we used to work.
Yeah, well, I think it happens at every department, and every department wants them to go away. But then again, look at BART, look at all the issues that we've had in the last, couple years with, all these things. None of them are good.
And now we'll see if they appear.
You never hear about a cop, or you rarely hear about a cop doing something really good or, courageous or good. But every time a cop gets arrested
I got to tell you, man, I'm looking over these questions on this website, and it has the ability to ask a question and then get answers from just about anybody. So you don't need to be a cop. You could just be a citizen wanting to give your opinion. And
that could put us out of business.
Oh, yeah, it won't. Trust me. So the issue is,
pick out a few good ones for next week, because I will.
Myself. But the interesting part about this is that there's a ton of information in here of what people feel when they're, being. We'll go over some of this for the next show. It's interesting to see how much negative is truly out there versus any positive whatsoever. So hopefully,
send me the website and Ed, and we'll poke around and we'll bring that up. Next show.
I'll send you this list of questions. There's a lot of stuff in here about legal stuff, which obviously we're not going to touch, but like actual legality of specific laws and sections. But there's lawyers in here answering those questions, so it's pretty interesting. So we'll see what we can do there. So I guess until next week, we got no Jim because, well, like you said, there's bad apples everywhere, and he's ours. So
he did talk to me for 2 minutes on the phone.
Yeah, that was.
Give it a shot.
Great. All I heard was 2 seconds of whining, and then he went away.
He might have been out there sailing the high seas doing some kind of a rescue or something,
Oh yeah, that's it, Ed.
Yeah, that wishful thinking there.
Yeah, I'm glad that you're going to bat for that guy.
He wouldn't even join us on episode 30. It's a milestone in our little thing.
Yeah, you can't say inaugural. Well, I guess you could. It would be inaugural, wouldn't it? So I don't know.
We'll be back in 2 weeks, and I promise Jim will be with us. If we have to kidnap him and handcuff him right in front of the computer, he'll be on the show.
You can do that, right? Your family.
Yes, exactly.
So there you go. So you can no jail time for that.
You could just tell him you're doing a photo shoot, and he'll be at your house early.
Yeah. Well, yeah. Thanks a lot. So So on that wonderful note, thanks a lot.
Very very quick footnote. I watched on the news down here in Phoenix last night that the Hells Angels are no longer a motorcycle gang. They are just a motorcycle club.
Oh, really?
So now we have competition for the Iron Warriors. It's a normal thing.
Wow. Is it a Christian club?
I don't know. They did, but they like Harleys, and that's all we let in the club. So that's it's terrible.
So are they gonna join up, or are they going to have, or can you think we can get one of them on?
Well, they had the Oakland president was on there, so that might be a good place to start.
Yeah. Maybe you guys could be the Iron Angels now.
Yeah, AFFA. Anyway, just throw it out there so everybody can have a good chuckle.
Yeah, that's wonderful.
Yeah.
Only in Arizona. So
Right.
I'm gonna have a bumper sticker that says that. All right. Well, we'll see you guys in 2 weeks, and I'm planning on keeping the website pretty updated, so there should be lots of updates on there with some of the latest stuff, and then we'll hit on most of those topics at the next show. So
Okay. Sounds good.
until then, we'll see you guys later.
See you next time.